YouTube, Ronin Kaze. As promised, started this series on YouTube-based distros. We're doing Zorin OS 18. What I'm also going to include in here is I got a run through of the Division Underground. I had a whole video on that. I always enjoyed the Underground. The level cap is 40. I'm at like 37. So some of the things, I'm just like everyone else, you know, I'd like to make that level 40. So Zorin OS, right out of the gate, their kind of main claim to fame is this Zorin appearance. And I have to admit, it's a great starter thing. So one of the benefits of Zorin, if you get the paid version, which is $47 something, is you can make it look really close to Windows or a Mac. So at this point, I'm going to ask you to like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe. If you get your fellow friends to maybe follow me, I'd appreciate it. And if you really want to help out, if you want to get me a cup of coffee, I'd appreciate it. But let's talk about this little sidebar real quick. It's $47. If there's a distro that you really like, you might want to give them anything. $5 a year, $10 a year, $5 a month, whatever it is, it would help out because those folks are doing it for free, basically. So you're helping them out by doing that. So I don't know if that's a game stopper if you have to pay $47 for this enhanced version. On the other side, how do I even know if I like your operating system? You're asking me to pay for it. So the plan would be I loaded the core version onto the system. Now you're going to see I'm trying to install VirtualBox, and then I'm going to try to install Firefox. It's asking for my password. And one of the things I want to point out with this Zorin OS is that you'll see in that area where the mouse is, you can select whether you flat pack it or whatever pack it, or you can get it from a system. When you're using Steam, you're going to have less problems if you use the system version of Steam instead of flat packing it. And now I'm talking out of ignorance, but kind of the whole thing that I like about Cachy is I hit one button and everything is updated. So I don't ever flat pack or do any of that stuff. It's easier, it's faster sometimes. And maybe you can get a piece of software that you might not have already in the repository. But the thing that you have to think about is it's one more piece of software I have to keep track of. So I don't use that, and I really don't use it once I found out with Linux when I was trying to use external drive. If I flat pack Steam, I had to add some more permissions, more terminal. Don't want to get in more terminal. So I'm having a hard time installing the software. I keep hitting the button and it won't install. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Once I think move things around, I figure out what the problem is. I have to type some command in here and I'll eventually do that. But you're going to see I keep doing this. I keep hitting the button. I'm doing the same thing. You're expecting different results, YouTube. Not very smart. Other thing I noticed in my last video is I end up sitting back in my chair and I end up going down here. So I'm trying to sit up here. I know you don't want to see my face, YouTube, but I'm going to try to keep it more up here instead of sliding in the back while I'm talking to you. So that's really killing me at this point because I can't figure out why it's not loading. So I'm looking for it. Is it loading and I'm not noticing it? And you'll see the package manager is different than Cachy OS. The thing I really like, though, is on each installation, it tells you, do you want to flat pack it or do you want to put it in through your system OS. In the game, in the Division, I'm doing a easy. It's a hard daily because, again, I'm trying to get my level in here. This is a character that I didn't make you watch me get it up to level 30, but it's kind of my newest character. It doesn't have the most, I had a lot of gear, so I geared it up with gear I had stored, but it's okay. All right, so now I try to install Chrome, and then what I'm going to see, that's a good example of, let me do Chromium. I think I'm going to look for Firefox here eventually, and then I find out what the problem is. So Zorin OS, it's pretty customizable. The interface, I think it's Cosmic is the name of it. It's okay. When I load Steam, and I eventually played Steam. So what you're seeing is I played Steam. I loaded Steam on Zorin OS. Then I recorded it with OBS. Then I sent it to my iPad. I didn't add all my groovy stuff to it, but I made a video, sent it back, and I'm playing that video. So I played on this game. And you can see that the problem with this Alienware 13 is it runs super hot. You can see I'm running at 97, 98. At one point, I'm playing this video, but in the game, I reset it, turned the fans on performance in the BIOS, and then it kept it around 91, 87. But I always want small form factor items, and back in 2016, 2017, I was like, ooh, I'm going to get this Alienware 13-inch, blah, blah, blah. But it just needs to be repasted. And I don't know how to do that. And I don't know if it's worthwhile paying for it. Now, on my slightly older VT 502, which has a 6700 HQ versus a 7700 HQ, it runs way cooler, like 30 degrees Celsius cooler all the time. So it's brutal, YouTube, brutal. So you can see I get the error message, what's going on. So now I have to get in the terminal, and I'm going to try to, like I've told you a lot of times, you can just select the text and then paste it over. I don't think it's going to work. So God forbid I'm going to have to type it, YouTube. I might try it again because I don't believe my luck, right? No, I'm just typing it now. Of course, I should have put sudo in there. I may have to cut this part out of the video, or I'm going to have to, hide my, because I think I do my password and it puts it in the clear. It does put it in the clear, so I'm going to have to cover that up. I have to go back and edit it. I hope I remember, YouTube. I'm an old codger. Why do I always have the red light on? Normally, I'm doing these videos at night. When I was in the Coast Guard, you had red lights at night to keep your night vision, right? You could have lights on, but you could still, see stuff in the night. So that's kind of an old habit I have. It's in the day. Normally, I close the blinds a little bit, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm not some creepy, it's not an affect that I want to do. It just, if I'm late at night and I go out of this room and then I want to walk around, I don't want to, I got the red lights on. And I apologize. That's one of those military, maybe it's a catcher in a rye thing. Maybe that's how they brainwash me to have red lights at night for my night vision. So I eventually get it. You can see after it loads a bunch of stuff in there. And then it's going to work. I just want you to note that the difference between me, maybe whenever I started this, 45 days ago or 60 days ago, the terminal's nothing now, right? You're going to pick it up, and then it won't be an issue. Where I struggled was getting the external drive, editing the etc, fstab, making a small mistake, and then it crashed my system. Then I couldn't recover my system. Then I had to reload software, right? Eventually I figured it out. But if I had to do that, now it's going to load this virtual manager now, like no problem. So you're going to get these skills, and this is nothing against Zorin OS. You see that we played the video. I'm going to bring it back up. I thought it was important enough for you kind of see this, and then I'm going to launch VirtualBox. Nothing wrong with Zorin OS. I could see why if you're coming from Windows and you wanted that familiarity from Windows 10. Also, as of the date I'm recording this, Microsoft had a big thing where they had a can't shut off your computer bug in their latest update patch. They have a monthly patch, then they have a weekly Tuesday patch. I'm going to forward the video up, to this last part. And I'm not going to throw shade on Microsoft from that because I just told you with Cachy OS, it had killed my VirtualBox. And then a week later, they fixed it. So it's fake to say, oh, Linux never has any problems. All software has issues from time to time. During all this, my data's not being captured. I'm not paying for this with money, and I'm not paying for this. See, there's a VirtualBox loading up. And I'm not paying for this free software by giving them my metadata and all my data that I'm doing. Just a quick talk about the Division 2. Division 2 I've played pretty nonstop since it came out, let's say. So I stopped playing the Division as much. Division was great. Some of the things were a little bit different. So I always struggle when I'm coming back into it because I don't play it that much. Normally, I always have a turret to help with suppression. I don't know why I got the setup I have now. I have those seeker mines, which are okay. And I'm kind of built. How you mod your character is a little bit different in the Division 1. So the Division 2 is just a more refined game. When it first came out, it was different. I didn't like it. It was different. But I got used to it. And if they come out with the Division 3, which they say they are, whatever advances they have, I'm going to do that. So, what's the verdict on Zorin OS? If you want to get it, it's fine. Played games easy. Did OBS easy. There's YouTube over there. I'm running YouTube and doing this. Seems to be fine. On this PC, you can see it just running super hot. And that's not the fault of Zorin OS. That's the fault of the Dell Alienware.
Fallout 76, I appreciate that I'm always
not glued, not pasted properly.
Lets me get down from these places, saves time. You could like, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe.
Why don't I use this?
Share this with your friends. I'd appreciate it if you think it's worthwhile. And if you
number one,
help me out, you could give me a cup of coffee.
Right, they're kind of tied to the Cosmic. I could put some KDE tools in there. KDE has a lot of widgets, so I didn't know this when I was starting off, but it had the widgets, and I make some of those widgets on my desktop, do my CPU, my GPU. This is their system monitor. You can load the KDE system monitor, but you can't, doesn't have the widgets behind it, so you can't put desktop widgets. So, and I loaded Dolphin as the file manager. The thing I don't like about Zorin OS is it dumbs it down. Like I can't see how much space is left on my hard drive. It just doesn't show it. In Dolphin, which is a different file manager, it just does it. So some of the choices are, I don't know what's going on in my computer as much. And that's another thing I don't want. I want to know what I want. Does it mean it's bad? No. Oh, the other thing I had to do is I had to activate. It didn't, when I installed it, timeout. Some laptops nowadays have a chip that has an integrated GPU and then it has a discrete GPU. It didn't recognize the discrete GPU. I just had to add it. This is their webpage, and this is, I loaded Core, but they have the Pro that's for money. And I had to do some stuff to get that GPU recognized, and I had to load a driver, and I had to do that. Spoiler alert, on Mint 2, which I'm installing right now on my other computer. Probably not going to use the Dell. The Dell's going to be the computer this was on, the Alienware. I'm going to probably do that with a lighter C. You know, I probably can't play games on it because I don't want to burn it up, just to show you some games. So this is Ronin Kaze. This is Zorin OS 18. Not bad. Still wouldn't change to it, but for those of you that want it, not bad. Ronin Kaze, out.